Good times. Mrs. Vegeta joined. Well, hello, Boma. How are you? Hey, look at all these DDRM69. Okay. This is my first time on Instagram, so I'll be doing a lot of this and probably some old man stuff like this. Yeah. You check out my nose hairs. You can, while I do a little bit of this kind of stuff. Cool. Well, fun to be here, everybody. A lot of talking to myself, but I do see that there is somebody on my Streamily here that wants something signed, and I'm going to do that first for them right now because that's super cool. Number one, Samuel. Make it out to Samuel, and you picked, yes, this one right here, which is in reverse. So let's do that for you. I'm going to do it in black, and I'm going to have to sign it off to the side here because it's where my best table is. Too cool. I'm so used to having conversations with all you people at the cons, and I'm looking forward to getting back to them. So it's weird to just be speaking into the void right now. Hey, Johnny. Hey, Amy. Way sassy. Queen. Nice hat. I might change my hat like 6 times through this. I have like so many. Oh, I just dropped something. I have so many hats. Look at this one. This is one of my faves. I'm going to put that one on too. Okay. Samuel. Yes, I better get the spelling right. We're going to do this one right now. And it is that funky red carpet one. Yes, we're doing that right here. Okay. 2. Samuel. Thanks for loving MLP. Woo! It is signed. It is signed. It is done, and it will go to you. And guess what? That is my very first one on Streamily, and it says, write this number on the back of the print, number 1. So you will be able to keep that forever and know that it was the first one of these virtual signings I ever did, and it belongs to you. Thanks so much. That's going to be fun. We'll get that sent off to you ASAP once I figure out how to do that. And, if mail is still a thing, which it better be because that's the only way you're going to get it. Who else we got on here? Oh, wow. We have so many people on here. Sammy Dash, Jamie. Wow, this is great. I've got to get a zoom in on it. I wish I had a slightly bigger thing so I could see all the cool icons that you guys have on here. Very fun. Check out this poster behind me here. It's got a little bit of glare from all the lights I'm trying to shine on myself to make the wrinkles look like there's less of them. But that cool piece of art was made by my son, Aiden Drummond, for my 50th birthday. And I don't know, throughout this, there are 50 characters on there. He picked some of my faves from a lot of shows that we've done. Who do we got? Zex Marquise. There's Vegeta. Who do we have? Knuckles from way back in the day. Ryuk, Death Note. My very first role, his name was initially Ballistic from a G.I. Joe series, and they changed it. I thought it was too violent, so they called him Eagle Eye. Look at all these shots. Jetstorm right here from Beast Machines. So many. Oh, and there's my OG role in My Little Pony in G3 when I played Spike, and some of the other ones there. You'll see Mr. Cake there, and some of the other ones. Too fun. He did a great job on it. I've been pressuring him to make me one for my Twitter website to make it just a little bit more compact and we could fit it on there. But I don't pay him enough to do that, so he's been a little bit slow about getting her done. Hello. I love all the waves. Heather joined. And Benny Josh joined, and I love you in Death Note. Oh, thanks, Brenna Barry. You are my biggest fan. That's one of my favorites, actually. It's a fun story with that show. I initially went in to audition for a Death Note, and I was sent a number of other characters to audition for. I showed up in the session, and a lot of times we're not allowed to see the pictures of the characters. We sign NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, and I showed up to audition for Death Note, and I hadn't really seen who I was auditioning for, and I walked in the studio, and they had pictures up so we could see what they looked like when we got there. And one of the first characters I saw was Ryuk, and I was like, wow, that is the coolest looking evil dude of all. Why was I not sent his sides to audition for? So I asked the front desk person, can I see those sides as well? And she gave them to me very nicely. And when I went in to do the audition, Carl, who is a phenomenal director, directed me in a lot of Dragon Ball Z and most of the Death Note. And he let me audition for Ryuk. They played a ref of the original Japanese performer, who is phenomenal. And they said, if you can kind of get in this range and your own vibe, give it a shot. And that's the one I ended up doing. So much fun. Yeah, that's the story of that guy. Dusty Cat, man, how are you doing, brother? You need to get back up here when they open up the dang borders, and we can go for a brew on Main Street again, my friend. It's nice to sort of see you, at least see your name. That's the best thing. One of the coolest cats in the MLP fandom, Dusty Cat. One of the first people I met, and I think one of the first cons I went to. Actually, maybe it was the second con. I think Brennan and I went to one before I met Dusty. I'm not sure, but super fun. Love you, man. Look forward to seeing you roll into town again, or me roll into your neck of the woods. Fingers crossed. I got one vax in, and hoping maybe before the end of June, vax number 2 will be in, and the Canadian government will lift those border restrictions so we can head on down and say hi to everybody, because not just missing the people at the cons. It's pretty fun, all the after stuff and the get-togethers and the parties, and it's sad. 15 months without it. Oh, look it up. You know what? The names, I'm telling you, how do you even say hello to some of these? Nintendo, hey, how are you? And I can't even read that second one, but I'm waving to you anyhow. And Samarath Fault joined, and you are super cool too, but I would love it to see the full names on there. Would love to show you around. Come on down. Yes, I'd love to be shown around. Dusty, you're in San Jose, aren't you? Are you not? I think so. In that neck of the woods. Britta knows San Jose well. She's been down there a bunch too. Super cool. I've got a computer on in the back, running all kinds of stuff, attempting to tell me what to do with the other aspects of things. Hi, North Carolina. Yeah, tell me where you're from. Just put some of that stuff on there. That's the kind of thing I'd like to know. Where is everybody? Amy Way Sassy Queen from North Carolina. That'd be like Raleigh area, or I don't know North Carolina very well. All I know is Raleigh's in North Carolina, and it's supposed to be beautiful. Ah, correct. Why Dragon Ball Z Kai is not dubbed by Vancouver? Well, we did do Dragon Ball Z Kai, and maybe you will be lucky enough at some time to see it. We're going to try and twist some arms and see if we can get that released to the Dragon Ball Z fandom. It's, some things in the works. We might be able to see if we can try and make this happen. It's all up to people with a way higher pay grade than mine, but all I can tell you is I worked on it and did it. And yeah, see you, Dusty. Later. Hey, Wilmington area. Okay, cool. And we got an Oregon, Vancouver. Hey, but really Nova Scotia. How are you, Vancouver, Heather, and really Nova Scotia? Transplanted here to the Sunny Coast, although I want to visit the East Coast. I have never been, and I feel a bit of a guilty Canadian having not made my trip back east. Been to Toronto. That's it. Not fun. No. Oh, it's okay, but it's not Nova Scotia. I'd rather visit little beautiful coastal towns. This is juice, by the way. I am not drinking yet. It's only 12:10. Do you prefer Teletoon or YTV? Wow, that's a good one. I was, I didn't watch tons of it because it wasn't something around when I was a kid, but my kids watched a lot more YTV, so I found myself, when they were young, stuck in front of YTV a lot more than Teletoon, because they tend to have a little bit more younger content. And I remember we did a lot of stuff in Vancouver that showed up on it, so I think I'm a bit more YTV, but now, I love it all. Cartoon Network's fabulous, too. I just learned that Nova Scotia means New Scotland. I'm American, so I don't know if that's common knowledge in Canada. Well, Heather would tell you if that's common knowledge. She certainly would, because she's from there. New Scotland. And that's where my ancestors were from. There's a castle I visited there. Drummond's the last name. Yeah, Drummond Castle. It's beautiful. It's broken down and nothing in it, but that's where my family. There's a little bit Irish as well in my family, and English, but Drummond is Scottish. Want to hop on and say, hey, this is neat. Oh, hey, yes. I'm missing our Sunday morning classes. Those were fun. Amari is like Amari Newton, who taught a Sunday morning VO class here in Vancouver, and he just mentioned that, is just amazing. He is one of the most incredible human beings. If you don't have a chance to follow that guy, whether he's on Instagram or I know he's on Twitter, Amari Newton, voice guy, theater artist, writer, activist, and incredible human being. And he is the man up here, and I can't wait to catch up. Bye. 16, Total Drama Island and Donkey Kong. Yes, I know my kids were all over Total Drama Island and 16. Those shows were crazy fun, and those are ones that actually I found adults could sit down and watch. I wish I had a chance to be on them, but those are recorded in Toronto, I believe, so I haven't done as much of that stuff here in Vancouver. Brian, do you believe in past lives? I don't know if I do. I'm not sure. I'm not against believing in past lives, but I don't ever have a feeling that I had one. I hope there is another one after this one's done, because it would be pretty cool to go on to another interesting new life. But I've never had that sort of vibe like some people do, that I was something else before. Maybe I'm not that connected to the spiritual world in that way, but regardless, it's a fine thing to believe. What do you think about the new Broly? Well, you know what? I didn't actually even see the newest, most recent Broly movie, but from what I've heard, the people that I work with and know in the biz with Funimation, is a pretty kick-ass character, and the new guy who's going to be voicing it, well, we'll see. We'll have to hear it. Great actor who's going to be doing it, but we'll have to see how it all comes out in the end. Dragon Ball has just been a huge part of my life, so I'm always kind of just seeing what's happening with everybody, and I love so many of the people in the fandom and the performers. I've met so many great guys and gals and performers that have done all kinds of work on that show at different conventions, and everybody just is, so many of them are just awesome people. It's pretty fun to hang around with them. Hello, Zelda Squad and Lord of the Villains 94. How are you all? I'm just going to pop over here and refresh that. There we are. Sorry. Hello, Lord of Villains 94. That is a sweet name. Hey, Brian, do you prefer Gradley or Tara Strong? Assuming they'll never listen to this. Well, they're both two of the greatest voice actors, actresses in the history of the biz in the past 20 years. They're both phenomenal performers. I've met Tara at a couple conventions, so I know Tara a little bit more. But I know all their work from tons of stuff, and it's not something I'd ever say one is better than the other. I think they're just both fabulous. That's one of the nice things about voiceover. It's everyone's voice is completely unique. They have totally different sounds. They're both great actors, actresses, and I couldn't probably pick or choose at all. There might be different performances on different shows. Like I might say, I love Tara in Ben 10, or I love Gray in Scooby-Doo, or something like that, and have certain performances that I like better than others. But they're both phenomenal. Candace, my sister loves MLP and Dragon Ball. Can you say hello to her in Vegeta's voice? It'll make her entire year. Candace, well, Vegeta sounded like this. Kakarot, you fool! Hello! Thank you for tuning in. Oh, and there's more here. How is it? Well, I got a copy of Vegeta when you're the true first Vegeta Sabbath and Dragon Ball Super vs. Sabbath and Funimation. That was a blast. That was super fun to do that. To come in and play around with Chris and the rest of the gang when they asked me to sort of come back and do a little throwback, something fun for the fandom. I really enjoyed it. It was a great time. All the fans talk about it all the time. Kind of a weird story arc, but it was fun to be able to come back and do the pink bubblegum looking copy Vegeta. I enjoyed it. Xtay, hi Brian, heard of you. I was suicidal. You pulled me out of it. Oh my God, that's amazing. I don't know how. I'm sure there were other people involved that helped you through that process, but if there's something I said or did in animation, I'm so happy to have been a part of it. It's crazy. The kind of things that we hear like that at conventions, shows that we did, characters that we played, voices that sort of resonated with someone, and I'm happy for you. That's fabulous. I hope we can meet up and say hi at a con sometime. I think my favorite character of Death Note was Rem. I love Miss Adesela. Did you read the Death Note? I did not read the Death Note manga. No, I knew nothing about it before I auditioned for it. Absolutely zero. How was your time working on Zoids? It was good. It's good. Anime is tough. It's tough work. You're by yourself. I'm a people person. That's why this is even weird to do. And, to be sitting, in my studio by myself talking to sort of a screen. I love just being around people, and with dubbing, you don't get to do that as much. Can you say it's over 9,000? Now, who said that? Which character said that? Derek Padula. Hey, how you doing, man? Wave to you, buddy. That guy wrote a phenomenal book. If anybody wants to see some of the great writing about Dragon Ball Z, Derek Padula, check this guy out on Twitter. And yes, it's over 9,000. Kakarot, you fool! His power level, it's over 3, 4, 5. It's over 9,000! Ooh, yeah, you feel that now. 25 years ago, it wasn't so, you didn't feel it as much, but now you do. Woo! Brian, do you know who Erica Strobel? Well, I do not, so I can't help you. Do you have any memories of doing Knuckles in Sonic Underground? I do. I do remember working on that. Maurice Marsh was on that show, too, and he was just coming up as a super famous guy, and so many great performers on that show. I remember working on it. It was one of the first prelay animated shows I worked on, so I was pretty nervous about it. But Sonic even then wasn't as massive as it is now, so I wasn't as aware of the fandom, and of course there wasn't the internet to the extent at all that there is now, where you can talk about it and create fandoms the way that it's created now. But I do remember working on it. It was a lot of fun. He had a really sort of high-pitched, kind of tough voice, but very different than they do Knuckles now. You could see him back there too, I think, somewhere. Isn't he? Knuckles in there? Yeah, he is. Woo! OMGGG. That's a lot of GGGs. How, Brian, do you believe in the law of attraction? Is that a law? I guess, yeah, with magnets and things like that, and with, yeah, there's aspects of that I think I believe. With people, I don't know so much if the law is the same way, but yeah, I guess I could say I believe in that. Do you remember seeing me in Canada? I showed you a seeing me in Canada, I showed you a parody. So I thought, oh, you know what? Because your picture is so tiny on my screen, I can't see what you look like. So maybe you'll have to give me some more details about what parody you showed me in Canada. Which con was I at? Was I at a fan expo or something, or did we just bump into each other? This is Sawa Lomai. It's a lot of me looking at really small names. This is what this will look like if I watch this again after. It will be bizarre. Have you ever used a Ouija board? Yes, I did as a child. I don't think we could get it to work. We had our hands on there. We're moving that thing around. You're always like, you're moving it. No, you're moving it. No, I'm moving it. It was just, we wanted it to move all by itself and etch our names into the floor somehow, and screaming demons who'd come out of the walls, but didn't happen, unfortunately. Excited for your animation class. Hey, Heather, yes, I'm going to be doing an animation class starting in about a week and a half at On the Mic Training. They do fabulous stuff for anyone who's able to be here in Vancouver. We're going to be starting to finally get back to some live in-studio classes, although I'm sure we'll still be all masked up and whatnot for the first little while, but I'm excited for it too. You will have the mask off when you go inside to the mic one at a time to do your crazy stuff, but get ready. I work you guys hard. It's going to be hard work, but when you come out, you will be feeling amazing. Wait a minute. You're Australian Jetfire? Sunset Drifter said. Yes, I am Australian Jetfire with the terrible Australian accent, and I'm not sure why they wanted him to be Australian, but you know what? I did what I could at the time when I was recording that dub, and that's what it was. But it was a fun show to do. I was in Toronto and I showed you a parody. I'm thinking Vancouver, but that's right. Sure, I must have been in Anime North or something. Now it's coming back to me. I've been to a couple of Anime Norths out there, and they are a gong show. They are crazy time. A girl with disheveled hair that was dyed blue once told me that Ouija boards are evil. I said to her, not as evil as your hair. Wow. Well, okay. I don't know if blue hair is that evil, but any game it's hard to say a board game could be evil. It's just a piece of cardboard and a piece of plastic, really. So, don't think so. Yes, been waiting for so long. Well, Heather, you're going to get your work to do set out to you probably sometime around this time next week. You will have what you have to prepare for the class on the following Wednesday. And it's going to be busy. It's going to be super busy. I make you guys, it's called On the Mic for a reason. We put you on it and we make you do all kinds of crazy voices. You got to be able to let your silly out, let your crazy out, come up with all kinds of stuff, and we'll try and guide you in the right direction of what works in this business that I've been at for so long. This year, 2021, my 30th year as a professional actor. Although I think I did my first voice gig maybe 27 and a half years ago. It was like mid-93 or something. But I first started working as a professional out of theater school in the spring of 91. And here we are, the spring of 2021. Can you share your poster, the character you dubbed? Share your poster. I'm not sure. What is your son named? There's a poster back there. I've dubbed, or I've not just necessarily dubbed, voiced all those characters. Also, you're Amada Blur too. Yes, I did on many Transformer voices. Go to imdb.com or Behind the Voice Actors, and I forget most of the names of them, but there are quite a few over the past 30 years. There's a lot. And a lot of Transformers. It's surprising how much Transformers we actually did up here. Some of the live stuff with Beast Machines, I think, was my very first one, and that was Prelay, where we record before they actually animate it. So a Jetstorm and Beast Machines was my first Transformers role. And then that was directed by Sue Blue after I'd done G.I. Joe with her. And then we did a lot of the Armada and the dubbed version ones. We did like three different series I was part of with that. Yes, Broly's new voice actor was a Power Ranger. cool cat too. Great voice actor. Eki, Maine. Do you remember me? I saw you in the States and I showed you my... boy, you know what? I feel terrible when someone says, do you remember me? I'm pretty good with faces. If you walked up to me and said, hey, do you remember me? At a con, I would probably remember you. But when I just see your icon and a couple things, I'm sorry, I can't recall, because I've met like 10,000 people over the past little while. But it's been fun. It's going to be fun to get to some more, which I will be doing this year. And I can squeeze myself away from work. Oh, and someone had asked earlier what Aiden was up to. Aiden's working on an animated series right now as well. That's he's having fun doing some of that stuff and playing around with some of his artwork and doing some incredible things. I'm trying to get him to draw me some more stuff, but he's working on a series as we speak. I think he was recording it yesterday too. A lot of your work is part of my childhood, so thank you. That makes me feel old when people say I was part of their childhood, but I'm happy to have been that. It was a thrill to do it. You never think you're going to be part of someone's childhood when you're making an animated show. But yeah, kids watch cartoons, so that's bound to happen. No, Aiden is not living here. We have 3 kids. Aiden is coming up on 27, and Brenna, who also is working on a couple of animated things too. She just did something recently as well. She is 23, and my youngest is 20. She's the only one that's still at home. She's mooching off the household dole right now, but she's in university doing incredible stuff right now. So one left in the nest, and our super cuddly golden retriever, and a cat. But the cat, she's nasty, so Ashlyn's taking care of her, and we just cuddle our lovely golden retriever, Guinness. That's his name. What do you think about male characters being voiced by females? Wow. Somebody's trying to get political on me here. I don't have a problem with that. I do not. No worries to me. Now, if I could do tons of other types of things, I probably would, but I don't have an issue with that at all. In this industry, there's always been so many more roles for males. I think we should give every single opportunity for female actors to do as many roles as they possibly can. When I was on some of my first shows, G.I. Joe and Beast Machines, and I don't know, all the early Transformers stuff. I'd be in sessions with 10, 11 other actors on prelay shows, and they were all guys, maybe one woman, and maybe one person of color. And that is changing now, thank God, because it should. I am one of the white privileged people that reaped the benefits of being able to voice tons of characters on so many of those shows. I still work a lot, but I'm glad that animated series right now are starting to change faster to actually represent what our society looks like. That's what it should. That's what animation should be. You should be able to turn it on and go, that's me, that's me. And even if even if they're just ponies or they're talking fence posts or animals, you can go now on the internet and see who played those, and you should be able to see people that look like you have played those characters. So I'm glad that a lot of that's changing. Boy, are you able to go back? Oh, you can. Look at this. What are you about, man? No. You can't maybe remember. I was with, let's see, I thought Aiden was 25. For August, is Aiden 25? Maybe he is 25. Oh, he's coming up in 26. You're right. I don't even know my own kid's age. He was born in 95, so he's turning 26. He's not 27. Jeez. Thank you for correcting me on the age of my own child. Hope I remember the actual day. Won't even get a birthday present if I screw that up. Are there any shows you would like to voice a character in for the future? Yeah. I just like to work. So sometimes new shows are the most fun because you're the first voice of that character. So as opposed to being, boy, it'd sure be great to be on The Simpsons. It'd be really fun to be on Family Guy, or if I could be on Rick and Morty or whatever. Those would all be great to do guest things on some of those. but they already have all their principal actors and they just are so great. I could never hear someone else doing it. So I really love doing original stuff that takes off. You always want, lots of times an original show, you'll do one season and it goes nowhere. So that's always a little sad. But when one takes off, and you're able to be the person that's that original voice, that's what's, I think, the most exciting. Yeah, so there's no specific show that I want to be that guy in the future, but there are some, and boy, it'd be fun to be a part of it. Like Rick and Morty is stupid, crazy fun. It'd be great to just show up there and be some crazy looking alien. Oh, what am I doing? Sorry, were you Dr. Hooves? You know what, you probably see that on some of the drawings here, because it was, before there was actually a Dr. Hooves. You probably see him on this one, and Pixel Kitties, who does phenomenal art, which is all this artwork that I have here, which you can get on Streamily there. He was called Time Turner, I believe, when I first voiced him, and he said like one line. It was not Dr. Hooves. Nobody told me that's what it was. I was on the show, probably doing Mr. Cake or another character, and they're like, Brian, we had this other incidental guy. Can you do these couple of lines for him? I did them, and then I'm at conventions, and people are telling me, you were the first guy that did this Dr. Hooves character, and I was like, who? And then Peter ended up voicing him later down the road in the series, and he does a phenomenal job. Peter's amazing. So, I was sort of that first little voice when he showed up as with a couple lines early on, and maybe, I don't know what season it was, 3 or 4 or something like that, or maybe it was even earlier than that. Now, what do we got here? I actually met my girlfriend watching an MLP. That is crazy. When you meet someone you're with watching a cartoon. But I guess it can happen in the movies too. The voice of Madeline was transgendered. I thought you could find work outside for kids when she came out. I'm glad things have changed. I'm glad things have changed too. Big time. Will it take a long time to ship over the autographs? I don't believe so. It really probably depends where it's going. Soon as far as I know, it's my first time working with Streamily today. Soon as I'm finished, I just order up a package from them, and all the autographs go there, and then they're sent out by the company immediately after that. So I'm not exactly sure. It would depend where you are. Within Canada, mail is usually within a week. You can get something from one side of the country to the other. So probably within the States might be a little bit longer. COVID's been slowing down things a little bit, but I would assume it probably wouldn't take much more than a couple of weeks to get anywhere. UK, wherever. So, yeah, not too long. Do you plan on going to SawCon next year in the summer? Well, send me some information about it on Twitter or whatever, and I can put you in contact with someone about when it is, because I don't know where it is or when it is or what it is or who it is. But lots of if they can fit in my schedule, I usually try to get to a few of them over the course of a year. Look at my finger pointing in here, rolling through things. Do you remember the voice? I do not remember the voice I did for Dr. Hooves. I would be going online right now, trying to find the clip of that character and to see what he sounded like. No clue at all, because he wasn't a main character. He was just a small role. This probably sounded a lot like me, like, oh, hey, how you doing? He was probably something like this. Although that's a bit like Mr. Cake, so maybe he wasn't quite there. I don't know. I met you at DigiCon in the UK a couple years ago. Thanks for being... Hey! That was a fun con. That was a super fun con. Not huge, but man, we had so much fun with some of the guys from Funimation that were there. It was just wild. And, I don't know, small town England is one of my favorite things, even though it's not a giant con and thousands of people. Sometimes just going out to the pub at night and visiting with your friends and seeing some of the fans there and is one of the best things about being able to go to conventions. It's just fabulous. Thanks for saying hi, Dean. Hi, Brian. Paula Paricchio 2020. I probably said that wrong. Your imaginary father is Brian. Well, I'm the father of 3, so I don't mind being an imaginary father too. Tomorrow. How's it going? It's going well. It's going it's going really well. What a crazy year and a half. It's been so bizarre. Trying to navigate this and figure out how we can still do the kind of work that we do. I hope everybody who's tuned in today hasn't had too rough of a ride of it, but it's pretty exciting to see us coming out the other side. And I think we've probably learned a lot of new ways to communicate through this. I did not do a lot of online things, but I've had so many Zoom meetings. When I was asked to do this about a week ago, I'm like, you know what? I've Zoomed enough times for enough sessions and callbacks and interviews and all kinds of stuff for shows. Why not? Why not hop on and chat with you guys? Although there usually was a little bit more back and forth with other voices, but it's just forcing me to read more than I do. But it's still fun. Hope to meet you at TFCon someday. Yeah, I'd love to go to the Transformers convention. I've been to one, but it was the best weekend of my life. Those are fun cons. Transformer con attendees are amazing. And the stuff, like the vendor halls at those conventions, like I turn into a little kid again looking at all that Transformer stuff. It's just incredible. That's actually one of my favorite things to do, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. Is I just like to, on the breaks at conventions, to just meander the vendor halls and seeing the incredible art that everyone does. XD Suma, it's over 9,000. Yes, it is. There it is. Maybe it's time for a hat change. Just since it came up, we'll do a hat change. There it is. Oh, but it's all reversed. Well, maybe you're seeing it the right way. I don't know. It's backwards for me. What's my favorite type of music? It's a good question. I have some, all I could say is I'm not a massive country fan, but there are some country things that the odd one that I like, but I listen to everything. We have a eclectic, like if I'm working out or at home or in my car, my Spotify playlist goes through the most random stuff. If I pick random from musicals to 80s hair band to pop music, everywhere, because there's certain things I like from every genre. So, and it's kind of like that with animation. I only like anime. I like traditional animation, CG animation, anime from the big movies, the Pixar stuff, the Disney stuff, to the dark anime. I loved working on Black Lagoon. And who could say you love Black Lagoon and then you love Inside Out from Pixar? I do. And it's just, I have a fondness for all that kind of stuff, and I'm a bit like that with music. Do you think Willem Dafoe based his Ryuk on yours? No, I don't think so. I would be surprised if he watched one episode of the movie. He might have been told a little bit about it, been shown some visuals. Maybe they let him hear the laugh of the original guy or me, maybe, that because he's such sort of an important part of that character. But Willem Dafoe has such a unique, husky, gravelly voice. I think that he probably didn't really do a ton when he took on that role. Yeah. Oh no, the shipping fee is, ouch. Oh no, what? There's a shipping fee. I'm not even looking at what shipping fee we're talking about. Do you like Tupac or Biggie? Wow. Tough one. I'd probably slide a little bit towards Biggie, but it's just me. They're both two of the best. Davin Kendall, hi. Davin Kendall joined. Hi. I like screaming in rock music. Yeah, I do too. I was a wild kid. Grew up in the 80s, so rock music from about 85 to 90. I am like banging my head to that kind of stuff constantly. Some of you MLP fans probably know Rebecca Shoykett from MLP. She played with her husband and a band at my 50th big party. Last time I probably had a big to do with anybody. And that girl can sing some crazy rock and roll. She is amazing. You might think she's just wonderful job as Sunset Glimmer, I guess she is on MLP, but she kills it with rock music too. Just a killer voice. Will you please follow me? I'm on Twitter. I'm 8Frey. Well, I might have to write that down to try and remember it. Where did you grow up? I grew up I'm from Canada, and I'm on the west coast of Canada, which is a province called British Columbia. And then in the interior of that province, an area called the Okanagan Valley, a very fertile area where there's lots of orchards and vineyards. And I grew up on a thoroughbred racehorse ranch in a little town called Salmon Arm. This is the official handshake right there. It's not really, but I wish it was. Salmon Arm in the North Okanagan, on a horse racing ranch, and that's where I grew up. And I was like, voice acting, that will be my thing. I wasn't thinking that when I was there, but I'm glad I stumbled into it. Okay, here we are. Can't believe you're in your 50s. You look so much younger. Must be your positive, loving thoughts. I hope so. Some people might differ. I can be super grumpy. And I have that. I'm trying hard to look like I'm smiling and stuff, but I have like resting bitch face. So when I'm sitting in a session, I was talking to Vincent Tong the other day, and he worked on some of our packages from Planet X. It was one of our first shows together. Vincent's a phenomenal actor, and he played the lead on it. I played the main bad guy on it, and I would sit across from him, and I was just watching him going, this guy's so good. But this is usually my watch somebody face when I'm thinking about it. It doesn't mean I don't like you, but I'm thinking, man, guy's good. And he said, yeah, I was so intimidated by you. You always looked like you were mad or scowling at me. Because I am the king of resting bitch face. So, but on the inside, that's not the way it is on the inside. It's just this. I'm surprised there aren't way more wrinkles, but I've done some amazing things with the lights to tone that down in the room. No filter, but some lights. What are some of your favorite characters that you didn't voice? That's a good one. That I didn't voice. I have so many. There's just tons that I haven't. I mean, I love so many of the crazy guys on Family Guy. F is for Family. It's got some crazy characters that I love on it. Rick and Morty is one of my favorite. And Rick is, if I had any way that I could, half burp my way through my lines, it would just an amazing voice to have. Where's your favorite place to go on vacation? I do like Hawaii, but I love Europe as well. But when I think vacation, to visit somewhere, sometimes some are more busy, but our family, look at me. I love Disneyland. It is really fun. I don't know why. I've always had a great time there, even though it's exhausting. I love it. But if I just want to chill and kind of forget about stuff and to kind of get away kind of vacation, it's probably Hawaii. I've been there a few times. I never thought, we went there for Christmas once. I never thought I'd want to do it because I've always grown up with white Christmases and snow and tons of it. We get a lot of that in the Okanagan where I grew up. And I was invited there by family for a Christmas one time. I was like, not going to like this. Sunny, 28 degrees on Christmas Day. Not going to like it. I was wrong. I really did like it. You can still open presents and have a good time when it is sunny out. Believe it or not. I don't know why the lights changed, but yes, I love Hawaii. Since you're Canadian, what's your level of French? My level of French is zilch. I'm from west coast of Canada. We take French in high school. So I took French in grade 11 and 12. That's 1986 and 1987. So as much French as I remember from 1986 and 1987. If you don't use it, you lose it. And I don't speak hardly any French at all. I think I could probably get some to come back. If I decided I was going to go on a trip and spend, 6 months in Montreal or something, I'd probably really want to brush up on some things. But it's garbage. My French is garbage. You can speak Japanese, but not much. I know I always try and learn at least please and thank you if I go to another country. I toured Europe in the mid-90s with my wife, and we decided to try and learn please and thank you at least everywhere you go. And then a few numbers, maybe so you could say one of those or two of those, please and thank you. And that's about the best I can do in most cases. Unless I'm going to go somewhere for a long time, I might work a little hard. Disneyland or Disney World. Both, but because I'm West Coast, Disneyland is like a 2.5 hour flight from Vancouver. So you could be there like bang, you just jump a plane and you can get down there. So I kind of feel more comfortable there. And I like things I've done in California as well, the park that's right by Disneyland. But I have been to Disney World one time and really enjoyed it. It's exhausting because there's so many parks and all the bussing between them is a bit of a nuisance. But I think I'm a bit of a Disneyland guy. Although I've watched some amazing stuff about all the other Disney parks on the Disney Channel, because we have Disney Plus in Tokyo and Shanghai, mainland China, France. I'd love to be able to visit some of the other ones just for fun and to go to those places as well. What's your favorite European country? Oh boy, these are loaded. These are loaded. Favorite European. I don't know. Yeah, it's more when you go somewhere, it's more about the favorite time you had. Sometimes that's what it's about. But I would probably have to say Ireland, because my wife and we did one of our first sort of European trips there when we were just kids, literally, well, not kids, but in the very young people in the early 90s. And then we went there for our 25th anniversary for a big 3-week trip and loved it. So I'd probably say Ireland, but I'm open to loving all of Europe once we're allowed to go back there. Most inspirational quote in anime in your inspirational quote. I have no idea. That's a good one. What's the most inspirational quote that you think is in anime? You better tell me. What's the longest time you spent? Oh, wow, there's a lot of crazy questions coming on here. Oh, that's what happened. My computer went off. There we are. Longest time you spent in another country? Well, probably the U.S. I toured shows, toured theater when I was fresh out of theater school, and probably 3 or 4 months in the States. And outside of the U.S., then it would probably be, I think we were in Greece at one point for like 3 weeks, and I think I've been in that 3-week trip to Ireland, and maybe I did 3 weeks in Hawaii once, but that's the U.S. So, yeah, Ireland and Greece probably the longest in one specific country, but no longer than that. But I've been through a lot of the states of America, touring and conventions, so I've seen a lot of the U.S. and I love America. It's a great place. I'm glad the mango Mussolini is out of town, though. It's going to be nice. What's the worst movie you've ever seen? Jeez, I don't know. We're doing an Alien marathon right now because I love most of the Alien franchise, and man, number 3 is not good. The third one, Alien 3, we're about to get to Alien 4. We've watched the first batch of them, but it's not the worst movie I've ever seen. But it was not good. I was not impressed. You know what else I wasn't happy with the other day that I watched on Netflix? Army of the Dead. Come on, not good enough. Not good enough. Those are 2 not great movies I've seen. Life with Derek. That is a good show. My kids watched a pile of that. Ever watched Gurren Lagann? No, I have not. You'll have to tell me what it is. Who do you like better, De Niro or Pacino? I think De Niro. Yeah, I think De Niro. Where's that? That's more De Niro? Yeah, probably De Niro. That would probably be the guy. And maybe because I've seen more of his movies. That's probably why. Hey, we got about 10 minutes left before the party ends. I am going to be coming back here for a little bit of another chit and chat at 4 o'clock today. If you go to come back here at 4, I'll be here. But between 1:45 and 2:45, I'm doing BabsCon stuff, and same from 3 to 4 o'clock, playing some games there as well. And then from 4 to 5, I'll be back here to chit chat a little bit with everybody. Just for heads up for those who want to spread the word. I'm 25, just watching the Harry Potter movies. I wasn't allowed to see them as a kid because my mom thought they were satanic. No, I don't think. I'm not that impressed. I wish I'd seen it during my childhood. Wow. Well, yeah, it is. I really enjoyed them. I read all the books as an adult and really enjoyed them, but And we saw them, most of them, before the kids, I think, were old enough to see them, although they started to get older when the later ones came out. But if you read the books as well, maybe if you don't enjoy the movies, read the books. But I like them. We did a Harry Potter marathon at the beginning of quarantine, and that was fun. Yeah, and any of those kind of movies that are geared to younger kids, sometimes they can be a little bit meh when you get older. But I think you have to be in the right frame of mind to watch any of those kind of movies, the fantasy ones, to make them believable. And some of the older ones, the CG can be a little bit rough. So when you're watching something that was made in the early 2000s, you're like, eeh. It's hard to buy those Quidditch matches when they're flopping around like CG ragdolls on those things. I still look back and go, that's bad, but I still love the characters. I think the casting of the main three kids and Draco as well was phenomenally done. Have you been vaccinated yet? My first one, yes, get vaccinated. If you haven't, people, get it done. We got to be able to get back to normal out there. And it's amazing we see in our province and our country as the vaccine's up, how the cases just start dropping through the floor, going away. But I've had my first shot, and hopefully the second one will be, ours are a little more spaced out than in the States right now. We don't have quite as good of a supply as they do. So I think my second one's probably going to be sometime in June, I hope. And then if the borders open up, we'll be able to hit the road and come to some cons. Probably should read the books, but lack of attention span, growing up in the internet age hinders that. It's tough. It is tough. My wife would agree with that. She just started reading a few more books again lately. But she loves, the news cycles and the podcasts and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. And it's true. The internet age, it is hard to crack a book and get through a few chapters. But she used to pour through books. Just like she could say, I read that book 2 days. And that book, we'd go to Hawaii, she'd read 7 books on a trip that was 10 days long. And now she's like just desperately difficult to stay in a book for a few chapters. And it's because of stuff like this. We have the attention of just a few minutes. People have probably popped in here, hang around for 10 minutes, and then you're out. But it's the way it is. I'm like that with Twitter when I go on it. If I look at Instagram, if I'm on Reddit, if I'm checking my email, it's a few minutes, and then you wander to the next thing, and it's hard to focus on it. But it's worth it. Man, it's worth it. I'm not fighting because I want, you're giving me some quotes. Not fighting because I want to win. I'm fighting because I have to win. That's a good quote. Yeah, that one's not bad. That's not bad. I bought an autograph. The Gold Goddess. I don't see it, the Gold Goddess, on my Streamily site. Oh, there it is. There it is. You must make it out to Harris. Is that the one for the Gold Goddess? I see it right there. I'm not sure. Lowell, maybe make it mailed, something like that. Hides what in what? Special instruction. Not sure. Lowell, maybe make sure it's mailed in something that hides what it is. Thanks. Oh, okay. Yes, I found it, and I will do it right now, and I can see which one it is. Make it out to Harris. Will do. Thanks for putting that on there. I hadn't clicked on there's 2 different types of orders here, and I just opened up yours. Here we go. For Harris. Make sure I spell that right. To Harris. There we go. Sign on it. Harris. And I find the right one. Yes, I did. And there it is. And we're going to put that one as number 2 on the back. You guys are awesome. This is actually pretty fun. Let me get back here too. So, the Gold Goddess. I hope you got that. I got that right for you. Second dose is really awful side effects. I hope the best when you get the last. I didn't want to read that. dear God, I hope it's, yeah, I have heard that from a couple people. It's a bit of a kick in the butt with that second dose, so I hope I feel better. Brian, have you ever gone to a psychic? I have not. I'm not much of a psychic guy. I'm really not. Psychologists, yes. Psychics, no. I got to read more too. Have to catch up the new Beast Wars comics. Yeah, David K. I saw him talking about those. Speaking of attention span, remember you wrote down my Twitter handle for you to follow? Yes, I do. I have it written down. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put it on something easier to see. N9 for you. Oh, it would be Harris. Yes, that's what I put on there. Yes, Harris. Yep, I spelled it exactly the way you put it on there. Very cool. It is done, and it will be packaged up and sent off ASAP. I have a lot of books to read. Joined. J-Law. Joined. J-Law 003. Wave. Hey. Walls James 102. Hey. Hello, Vegeta. Well, hello. Everybody that grew up with the old school, except in Canada, would have seen almost, if you're in Canada or the UK, Ireland, you would have seen a lot of the Canadian dub, almost pretty much the entire DBZ series was what we saw up here in Canada, YTV, and overseas as well. I go down to the States and I'm like, which Vegeta were you? Well, the first one, the very first one before the show moved from Vancouver to Dallas. And it was a blast. And it was a blast to come back as copy Vegeta too. And maybe you guys, just maybe, we'll see what we can do. We'll have an opportunity to see Kai, because we did dub DBZ Kai up here as well. And I'm hoping that we'll have a chance for everybody to see it. I miss Kirby Morrow. I miss Kirby Morrow too. That dude was incredible. We worked together on Ninjago. We worked together on so many anime series. We worked together. He was the main Goku that I worked with while we dubbed Dragon Ball Z. Ian Corlett was the very first Goku. Then Peter Klamas did Goku. Most of DBZ I did with Kirby Morrow. So he's kind of the one that I always hear in my head whenever I'm doing my Vegeta voice. Just plan to not do anything with yourselves after getting it. Okay, gross. Yeah, keep a couple days set aside. Have you seen Symbiotic? I have not seen Symbiotic. I remember you told me. I remember you told me you visited Newcastle, UK. Still can't believe. Yes, I was in Newcastle, and you know what? I was just looking up, trying to find the address and phone number for a couple that we knew, and this was when we toured Europe and we met these people in Italy and Greece, and they were from Newcastle, and they invited us back there at the end of our trip and spent time with all the folks from up there, and it was really fun. They took us around and showed us all these great places. It was a blast. Great part of the world. You should send that virus to another man. Yes, if I could. Did your kids like Pokemon? Did my kids like Pokemon? Aiden was insane. I can't even imagine how much money I spent in the 7-Elevens, and I want another deck of those Pokemon cards, and like $7 for 5 of them or whatever. God, that dude had books full of Pokemon cards, and flip through the pages, and I'm just sort of counting how much money that is. I'm like, oh my God, it's tons. But yep, Aiden, he was the Pokemon one. Do you have any tattoos? If so, can you show them?